Hi, I'm Shelley. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the books I read in June and July. I did have June's video filmed, and then when I went to edit it, I realized that there was no sound, so I decided to just re-record the first month and then just do both months together. So these are most of the books that I read in June and July. There was one audiobook that I listened to that I don't have a copy of. So let's see. We'll start off with the first book I read in June. Separate these, I think. Was Welcome to Murder Week by Karen Dugas. I'm not sure if it's Dugas or how you pronounce it. And this was sent to me from Simon & Schuster, Canada. And it's a cozy murder mystery, I guess. Well, it's Kath, who's in her 30s. She's sort of estranged from her mother, who's recently passed away. Well, her mother was mostly absentee when she was young. And up until she died, Kath was raised mostly by her grandmother on her father's side. And she decides to go through some of her mother's things, and she finds these 2 tickets to a murder mystery in England. And as far as Kath knew, her mother had never been to England, never mentioned England. So she was wondering why she would have maybe bought tickets for the 2 of them to go there. So she ends up going herself, and she meets a couple other people that she ends up staying with in an apartment. I think that was already prearranged by her mother for them where to stay and whatnot. Oh, sorry about that. I had to pause. My battery was getting low. So this one here is a cozy murder mystery. So she goes to England, and this people are put in teams to solve a murder mystery. The town, you don't know which people are in on the mystery that they have to solve. They have a few days to solve it. And she gets to be good friends with the 2 people that she's staying with. And there is a little bit of romance in this one as well, for anyone who likes a bit of romance, but not too much. So I really did enjoy this one, and thanks to Simon & Schuster Canada for sending me this one. This one came out on June 10th, so it's been out almost a couple months now. So that's that one. The next one, the next one I read is, let me bring that up. Next one I read was, I like to go in the right order, The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. This is the second book in the Thursday Murder Club series. I did enjoy the first one, and the first one, Thursday Murder Club are still riding high off the recent real-life murder case, and are looking forward to a bit of peace and quiet at Cooper's Chase, their posh retirement village. So in the first book, there's 4 people, Elizabeth, Joyce, Ron, and Ibrahim, who are friends there. They're 4 septuagenarians, and they solve a murder mystery. There's a murder mystery, and in this one, there's also one. And I'm enjoying this series. There's a few more books in this. I got the 3rd one. And I think the 5th one actually is coming out later this year, I think. So I'm enjoying them. So I'm looking forward to reading the next one in this series at some point soon. I think he's like one of my new favorite authors. I really enjoyed it's like a cozy murder mystery, so it's not too violent or anything like that. So the next one, let me see the next one. Tried to bring them up here. The next one is one of my TBR Jar veteran picks, and that was Moriarty by Anthony Horowitz. And this one is the second book in this series. It says here, Sherlock Holmes is dead. Days after Holmes and his archenemy Moriarty followed to their doom at the Reichenbach Falls. Pinkerton agent Frederick Chase arrives in Europe from New York. The death of Moriarty has created a poisonous vacuum that has swiftly been filled by a fiendishly new criminal mastermind who has risen to take Moriarty's place. So he is assisted by Inspector Athelney Jones of Scotland Yard. And so they're trying to figure out who this new criminal mastermind is. And he also wrote The House of Silk, which was the first book in the Sherlock Holmes series. Yes, with pitch-perfect characterization and breathtaking pace, Horowitz weaves a relentlessly thrilling tale that teases and delights by the turn of each page. The game is afoot. So I guess it's more or less his take on the Sherlock Holmes mysteries. So I did enjoy this one. And I think I read Sherlock Holmes a long time ago and watched like miniseries and TV shows, but like when I read this, I wasn't sure who the bad guy was. I couldn't remember, so it was interesting for me. The next one I read is an audiobook I listened to. I'll put it here or here somewhere on this picture of it. And it's called The Swedish Art of Aging Exuberantly, Life Wisdom from Someone Who Will Probably Die Before You. And it's by Margareta Magnusson. And she wrote The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. And in that book she talked about clearing out unnecessary belongings so others don't have to do it for you. And so it says, now unburdened by literal and emotional baggage, Magnusson is able to focus on what makes each day worth living. In her new book, she reveals her discoveries about aging, some difficult to accept, some rather wondrous. She talks about her childhood in Sweden. And she says, as with death cleaning, it's never too early to begin. The Swedish Art of Aging Exuberantly shows all readers how to prepare for and understand the process of growing older and the joys and sorrows it can bring. While Magnusson still recommends decluttering, your loved ones will thank you. Her ultimate message is that we should not live in fear of death, but rather focus on appreciating beauty, connecting with our loved ones, and enjoying our time together. And I really did enjoy that book. Actually, I haven't read The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, but I was thinking about it. I think I will probably pick it up sometime in the future. And that's that one. The next one I read was another one of my TBR Jar Veteran picks. This one is Galore by Michael Crummy. And he's a Newfoundland author, and this was set in Newfoundland. And it's partly realism, and there is a bit of the fantastical, because it says there, description, it says, a mute and naked stranger arrives in Paradise Deep in the belly of a whale. The widow's family is haunted by the curse she placed on the local merchant as a young woman. A defrocked priest takes extraordinary measures to exorcise a murderer's ghost. Charismatic political reformer with devastating secrets sets out to save the country from itself. And Michael Crummy does a really good job of describing what life was like in Newfoundland back in this one. It was set in like it started in the 1700s. It's mostly 18th and 1900s. Ended around World War I, and it focuses on two communities, mostly Paradise Deep and the Gut, and talks about the lives of the Devine and settlers' families and their clashes, I guess, some of their clashes and what life was like in Newfoundland at that time. And I enjoy his writing. I think he does a great job of describing what life was like. And I have another couple other books that I like to read as well, so that's that one. Let's see, the next one I read in June is actually a YA book. I don't usually read YA now, but I do enjoy this author, and this book is The Beautiful Maddening by Shea Ernshaw. It's that one there. And like I said, this is a YA. It is let me see. It's a fantasy young adult romance is what she mostly writes in her YA. And 17-year-old Lark Good wants to escape her small town of Cutwater and the history of her family name that began during the Dutch tulip mania of 1636, when one of her ancestors stole the last remaining tulip bulbs and fled to America. But when they bloomed on American soil, madness sprouted from their snowy white petals. Madness was love. and she meets a boy who seems to be unaffected by the family curse. And it's about their relationship and how she wants to leave the town. And she also has a brother, and he doesn't want to leave the town. But their relationship and a relationship with the boy she meets. And I really did enjoy this one. As I do all her Sharon Chud's books, she has really beautiful writing. And that's that one. Let's see the next one. This one I finished on July 1st, and that is the second book in the Hell's Library trilogy, and this is The Archive of the Forgotten by A.J. Hackwith. That one there. And this one is it's a fantasy, urban fantasy, adult LGBTQ. And in the first book, Claire and Brevity, Claire is the main librarian, and Brevity is her assistant. I should read what the first one is about, because then you don't want to spoil what happens in this one. So let me see. I'll just read a brief description of the first one. And it's it says, let me see. Books that aren't finished by their authors reside in the library of the unwritten in hell, and it's up to the librarian to track down any restless characters who emerge from those unfinished stories. Many years ago, Claire was named Ed Librarian of the Unwritten Wing, a neutral space in hell where all the stories unfinished by their authors reside. Her job consists mainly of repairing and organizing books, but also keeping an eye on restless stories that risk materializing as characters and escaping the library. And when a hero escapes from his book and goes in search of his author, Claire must track and capture him with the help of former muse and current assistant Brevity and nervous demon courier Leto. So I enjoyed this one as well as the first one. And there is one more book in the series, so I do plan on reading that one sometime soon. The last one is God of Lost Words. So this is a really good series, and I enjoyed it. Can't wait to read the next one. And let's see, the next book I read is, Vera Wang's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man. I've mentioned this book in other videos. I've had it a while now, and it took me a while to finally pick it up and read it. This one it's another cozy mystery with some humor in it. And Vera Wang, she has a tea house. In the first book, she got up one morning and found a dead man in her tea shop, and she decided that she would probably be better to solve the crime than the police, because she thought they weren't really trying to do much and try to solve the crime. So of course in this one, she decides to try to solve a mystery of a person in this one as well. This one I won't give away what it's totally about, because it might give away the main plot, but there is a lot more to the story than I thought, and I really enjoyed it. And some of it is kind of based on real life incidents. I like that about the book. I'm looking forward to another Vera Wang book, which I believe she does have. I think she started writing it recently, so it probably won't be until next year or the year after. But I found this series is really good so far, and I'm looking forward to the next one. And the next book I read is another one of my TBR job veterans. And this is The Fire Dwellers by Margaret Lawrence. And this one is the third book in the Manahuaca sequence. Each book is about different characters that are in the town, in the fictional town of Manahuaca, Manitoba. And in this one, let me see. It might be better if I read some of the description. Far Dwellers is an extraordinary novel about a woman who has 4 children, a hard-working but uncommunicative husband, a spinster sister, and an abiding conviction that life has more to offer her than the tedious routine of her days. Margaret Laurence has given us another unforgettable heroine, human, compelling, full of poetry, irony, and humor. In telling of her life, Stacey rediscovers for us all the richness of the commonplace, the pain and beauty in being alive, and the secret music that dances in everyone's soul. So this is about Stacey, who she's married 4 kids, of course, and she's, I guess, she's months from her 40th birthday, so she's kind of contemplating what life maybe would have been like if maybe her and her husband hadn't gotten married so young or had kids, and maybe if she had finished university and whatnot. So I think it's like something that a lot of people maybe dwell on when they get to a certain age. And I did really enjoy this book, and Margaret Laurence's writing, I do like it. It's literary fiction, and so it's just like really it's just about life in general. There's no mysteries or anything like that. It's just a story about life. The next one I read in July is, let me see, that would be the next one is Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. I read this one pretty much on the plane ride to and from our family vacation. This one had a lot more to it than what it says on the cover. It says here, Nina Dean is not especially bothered that she's single. She owns her own apartment. She's about to publish her 2nd book, and she has a great relationship with her ex-boyfriend and enough friends to keep her social calendar full and her hangovers plentiful. When she downloads a dating app, she does the seemingly impossible. She meets a great guy on her first date. Max is handsome and built like a lumberjack. He has floppy blonde hair and a stable job, but more surprising than anything else, Nina and Max have chemistry. Their conversations are witty and ironic. They both hate sports. They dance together like fools. They happily dig deep in the nuances of crappy music, and they create an entire universe of private jokes and chemical bliss. When Max ghosts her, Nina is forced to deal with everything she's been trying so hard to ignore. I don't think I'll read the rest because I don't think I remember reading the whole synopsis on the back, because when it talks about her father, I was a bit surprised, but it does talk more about her relationship with her parents as well. And I enjoyed this book a lot more than I thought I would. I just thought it was going to be like sort of a romance type book, but there was a lot more to it than that.
A new station alert has arrived.
And the next one, it's just a couple more read in July. The next one is which book is this? Let me see. This is the Bare Bones by Kathy Reichs, and this is the 6th book in the Temperance Brennan series. And this one, a string of disturbing cases has put her vacation plans on hold. It said she heads to the lab to analyze charred remains from a suspicious fire and a mysterious black residue from a small plane crash. But most troubling of all the bones, Tempe's daughter's new boyfriend invites them to a picnic in North Carolina countryside where a cache of bones turn up. Are they animal or human? X-rays and DNA may link the crimes, but they can't reveal who's closing in on Tempe and her daughter, how far they will go to keep her from uncovering the truth. So with every book of this series, seems like Tempe gets into more trouble than usual. A normal forensic anthropologist does. That's the 6th book, and I enjoyed that one. And I'm planning on reading the 7th book this month. And the last book I read in July was this one that recently came out. And that's Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by B. Schwab. And this is a fantasy horror about vampires, historical fiction. It's LGBTQ+. And I really enjoyed this book. I enjoy B. Schwab's writing. I read a couple of reviews. I don't like to read many reviews on books as I'm reading them. And I find that I'm not as picky about, I guess, certain things and stories. I just enjoy the story and how the story made me feel. This one follows 3 different women. Maria from 1532 in Santo Domingo de la Calzada, and then this Charlotte in London 1827 and Alice Boston 2019. And it's their individual stories, how they became vampires, and how they dealt with that, and what their characters were. Kind of showed what they were like when they were vampires, and now they're, I guess their stories, you can't really tell from the beginning, but you assume that their stories would maybe intertwine at some point. And I think my favorite V. Schwab is still The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, but I really did love this one. I enjoyed it. I'll probably read this one again at some point. So I really did enjoy the story that was written. That is it for all the books I read in June and July. If you read any of these, comment down below and let me know. And I'll be back soon with another video. I might try to tidy up my bookshelves and go through the books that I'm unhauling, and then maybe do a video of my shelves and the books I've unhauled. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.